All righty, my friends. Good morning. We are going to work on external hip rotation and deep inner thigh stretching. So for this practice, you will want a strap and 2 blankets. I say we're going to work into pigeon, but I'm having a feeling that we're going to work into frog instead. We'll see where this practice takes us, shall we? Okay, so let's begin on our backs. Ooh, and I give you an option to start at the wall with your legs in a straddle. Let me show you what that looks like. You will probably want to have your blankets nearby. If you have a wall that you can use, start here with legs in a straddle, and you'll want to support yourself, maybe tuck the blankets in or the blocks in, just so gravity doesn't take you too far, okay? So options to be on the mat, which I'll tell you where to put your legs in a second, or at the wall. If you are on your mat, soles of the feet come together, knees open. And again, those blankets just tuck underneath. We're going to begin in an external rotation and an opening of the inner thighs here. As we settle in, just let the body kind of get heavy. Check in with the lower back. Sometimes you need to shift that sacrum a little bit. Move the feet away or closer to your body, depending on what feels good in your hips. Check in with the neck, with the shoulders release underneath you. And just take a moment, finding the breath, feeling the body. And so to begin with, these positions that we're putting ourselves in, these postures, shapes, are simply to let our body understand where we're headed. We don't want to stretch to the max yet. We want to be gentle and supportive to our body as we just kind of enter into this practice today. Let the breath start to lengthen. Soften the jaw, maybe close the eyes or soften the gaze. Just feel the earth beneath you. Imagine that you are growing heavier into your mat. And notice what you're aware of in your body today. What parts of you are talking? What parts of you are silent? Let the breath travel deeper into the body, as if you can breathe into your sit bones, into the spine that's resting on the mat. Option to take the arms wide, cactusing them or wrapping them around the head, just to get that stretch into the side body, into the front of the shoulder and the armpit. Notice how the breath can expand with that movement, with that placement. So it's all option, not necessity. Another moment or two here, noticing how the body is responding to the shape that you have put it in. And then no matter where you are, I invite you to bring those legs together. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a moment. Maybe you rock a little side to side. Maybe you make circles with the legs, making sure to go in both directions. Good. And then bring your feet to the mat. If you're at the wall, just scoot yourself out a little bit so you have room to put your feet on the mat with your knees bent. And I want you to cross the right leg over the left, connecting the inner thighs. So we're not in that figure four. We're going to be doing a lot of that external rotation, and I want to give our bodies a moment to kind of reset. So we want to squeeze those inner thighs together. From here, just rock the knees side to side. Arms can stay open to the side or be wherever is most comfortable, but just with the legs crossed, move them side to side. Feel the stretch through the hips. Follow your breath. One more to each side. And then come back to center, uncross the legs. Take a moment, option to take a full body stretch. If the wall is not too close, be aware of your surroundings. And then we'll go the other way. So cross the other leg on top, connecting the inner thighs. And again, just rock the legs side to side. Notice where this gives you stretch and sensation. Just pay attention to it, observe it without attachment. There's no, oh my gosh, I'm too tight or anything like that. It's like, oh, there's that part of my body. One more to each side. And then come back to center, uncross the legs. Again, option to take that full body stretch if it's available to you, if you have the space for it. And then make your way up to seated, however you want to get there. And of course, we're going to move into a straddle position. Good. So I want this to be not the biggest straddle you've ever done. If you want to find it and then back off a little bit, that would be fantastic. Feel free to support your hips with a blanket to move around. And then once you get into the straddle, hands come behind us. Gently push a little bit into those fingertips so we rock forward on the sit bones. Lift the heart, draw the shoulders away from the ears. I have giant monkey arms, so I have to bend my elbows when I do this. Some people may want blocks under their hands because the floor is far away. Good. From here, point and flex the toes very slowly. Point and flex. Point and flex. Notice where you feel this action in your legs. Good, and then stay with the feet flexed. Press a little bit into the fingertips again, so we have engagement and length, and then see if we can hold on to that as we release the hands. Whee! Yes, belly is engaged for this. Good. Exhale, rotate to the right, frame that leg, draw the belly in. Notice how that left thigh rotates in a little bit. Let that happen. Belly draws up and in, and then we walk towards those toes. Maybe you don't go very far. This may be where you want to close those legs a little bit more. That will give you more space to fold. Keep the spine nice and long here. Breath flows. Think about drawing your heart towards your toes. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up. Bring yourself to center. And tuck the left foot in. Support this knee with a blanket as you desire or a block. Good. And then as we exhale, we'll rotate to the left. Notice how that right inner thigh turns in just a little bit. Keep the shoulders aligned with the hips. So we're not going to lean away or into this. We want to keep that spine upright as we rotate. Gaze can look over that left shoulder. Make sure you're breathing, my friends. Good. Inhale back to center. Take that left leg long again. So again, hands come behind us. We start all the way back here, pressing into those fingertips. Let the sit bones roll forward. Let the pubic bone come towards the earth. Lift the heart, draw the shoulders back, knit the ribs together. Flex the feet. Breathe here for a moment. Good, and then exhale, release the hands, keep everything strong and tall, and then rotate to the left. Let that inner thigh roll in a little bit, and frame the leg, one hand on either side of that leg. Belly draws up and in. Exhale, fold forward. Roll the shoulders back. Let your spine remain long here. It doesn't matter how far you go. It matters where you feel sensation. And that sensation should not be a lot. Like if I said we could be here for 5 minutes, you'd be like, oh, okay, I think I can do that. Not like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can do it. So if you're at that point, back off a little bit. Good. Inhale, rise back up. Rotate back to center, even out the sit bones. And now we tuck in that right foot. Support yourself, that knee, whatever feels good. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, rotate to the right. Make sure we're not leaning. We want to stay stacked as we twist. Gaze looks over that right shoulder. Yes. Make sure that left foot is flexed, please. And that we're breathing. Good. Inhale back to center. Straighten that leg. Hands come in front of us this time. Draw the belly up and in and rock side to side as we fold forward at center. When you get to a place of stretch that you want to sit at, just find stillness. Just breathe for a moment. Good. Maybe this is a place you drop the head, shake it out, move it around. Make sure the toes are pointing to the sky, feet are flexed. Yeah. Good. And then inhale, walk your hands back up. Help lift the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Hold on to those ankles and just kind of flap your butterfly wings for a minute. Shake it out here. Yep, keep it going. Good, gently release. Let's bring our knees together, lean back on our hands, take our feet wide. And again, we're gonna just touch on that inward rotation here. As we exhale, let the legs fall to the side. Really, sometimes we focus on this external leg. We wanna focus on the internal rotation. This other one's just, we're gonna do a lot of that. We don't care as much about that right now. Good, back to center, exhale the other way. Really focus on bringing that knee towards the earth. It does not have to touch, let me say that. Inhale back to center, exhale the opposite direction. Just keep going with your own breath. Really focusing on the internal rotation of that hip. This is our counter pose to everything we're gonna do today. One more to each side. And you may be walking yourself forward. I know I am. Good, and then come back to center. Straighten those legs, shake them out for a moment. Nice work. Let's flip ourselves to hands and knees. When we get to our hands and knees, let's take that right foot straight behind us, toes to the mat, press into the heel. Feel free to pad up those knees or those wrists as you desire. Belly draws in. Lengthen the heart forward, almost like you want to squeeze your armpits, and then float the foot into the air behind us. Good. As we exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, press the earth away, lift the foot as high as it can into the hip. Inhale, extend the leg long, long spine, engage the core, press through the heel. Exhale one more time, knee to nose. Inhale, extend long. Pause right here. So now we're going to add an external rotation component. Toes roll open. As we exhale, the knee glides along towards the armpit. Inhale, extend back, toes rotate down. So we're going to do that one more time. Toes roll open. Exhale, knee comes to the armpit. Inhale, extend back. Now we're going to go back and forth. Exhale, knee to nose, curl it in. Inhale, extend long. Open the toes. Exhale, knee to armpit. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, knee to nose, toes point towards the earth. Inhale, extend. Toes open. Last one. Exhale, knee to armpit. Inhale, extend long. Good. Release that knee. Spread them wide. Sit back into child's pose for a moment. Yes. Let the forehead rest. Let the arms come beside you if that feels good to them. One more breath here. Good, and then we'll come back up to all fours. For the other side. So once you get there, take that left foot out, press into the heel, toes to the mat. Just enjoy that calf stretch for a hot second. Good, and then float that leg into the air. Draw the belly in, shine the heart forward. That is core strength that helps us lift this leg. Exhale, knee to nose, curl it in, press the earth away. Inhale, extend the leg along, press through the heel. Exhale, knee to nose, curl it in. Inhale, extend along, press through the heel. spine is strong. Now we rotate those toes open, draw the knee towards that left armpit. Good, and extend it straight back. Let's do that one more time. Open the toes, exhale, knee towards that left armpit, squeeze it in. Inhale, extend the leg long, rotate the toes, and now we go back and forth between the two. Exhale, knee to nose, arch the back. Inhale, extend long, turn the toes open. Exhale, knee to armpit. Keep it lifted. Inhale, extend. Toes turn down. Exhale, knee to nose. Yes. Inhale, extend long. Toes open. Exhale, knee to armpit. Inhale, extend. Toes release. Knee comes to the mat. And one more time, settling back into child's pose. Knees come nice and wide, forehead to the earth. Support yourself however you need to. Arms can be beside you. You can have a blanket underneath you or a bolster underneath you, whatever feels good. One more breath right here. And now we get to make our way into downward facing dog. So reach the arms forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips. When you get to downward dog, bend your knees, move around, lean back. Feel the length of the spine. Press through the sit bones. Take a breath or two here. And then we'll inhale the right leg into the air behind us. This is always an option, and you can always do this from all fours. Exhale, the foot between our hands. Plant our back heel, and we'll rise up to warrior two. So we're opening to the side of the mat. Front knee is bent, arms opening wide. Take a minute and bring this front hand to your front thigh. Wrap it kind of underneath. And then just glide it up and open. Let this front knee roll open a little bit more. We're not pushing it. We're just encouraging that external rotation, I guess is the way to say that. Arms reach open. We're just gently reminding the direction we want to move. Good. From here, straighten that front leg. Again, feel this continual external rotation. Shift the hips back, like we want to drop the front hip and reach the back hip to the wall. Arms reach forward. You can tell where we're headed. Settle into triangle pose. So triangle pose is one of those poses where we should be able to hold the shape without holding ourselves up, right? So a block can come under the hand for stability. Our hand can come to the shin for stability, but we don't hold ourselves up with our arm. Does that make sense? Yes. Lengthen the side body, the right side body from hip to armpit. One more breath. Staying here with our upper body, I invite you to just bend that front knee, coming into a side angle stretch. The arm comes in front of the thigh. Yes, top arm falls behind just a little bit, so we're opening that shoulder. Breathe. If you can't breathe, you've gone too far. Keep the knee bent. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Whee! Exhale, straighten the front leg. Take a reverse so that right arm lifts to the sky. Really stretch it out the opposite way. Beautiful work, my friends. Inhale, back up. Turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat. Arms expand open. Soften the knees as you take a forward fold. Release the top of the head. Rock a little side to side. Maybe find stillness, whatever feels good to you. And then inhale, half lift. Draw the belly up and in. Take the back toes and rotate them to the short edge of the mat. So the left toes roll open. Right toes stay where they are, and we rise up to warrior two, facing the back of the mat. So we did not turn ourselves around. We are still facing the same side as we did when we began this. Yep, good. Take your left hand to that left thigh. Just gently roll it open. Remind the muscles where we want them to go, how we want them to work. Arms reach open. Take a breath in our warrior two. Yes, straighten the front leg or the left leg, as it's the back, front, who knows at this point. Shift the hips, so drop the left hip, reach the right one behind you. Reach forward with the left hand, belly draws in, and then we settle into triangle pose. Again, this hand is not what holds us in this pose. Maybe there's a block there, maybe our leg is there for support, for stability. That's not how we're staying. Good. Keep rolling that inner thigh open. Lengthen the top of the head towards the side of the room. Breathe. Space from hip to armpit here. These look amazing, my friends. And then bend the front knee, move into that side angle stretch. The arm comes inside the thigh. Yes. Make sure you're breathing. Good. Top shoulder rolls open just a little bit. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Even out the hips. Yes, strong legs, my friends. Beautiful work. Straighten that front leg, reach back. Lift that left arm into the air. Oh, beautiful stretch. Good. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten that left leg, turn the toes to the side, open the heart, bend the knees, and fold forward one more time. Move around. Maybe you walk your hands behind you, underneath you, to deepen that forward fold. Good, and then when you're ready, walk your hands around to the front of the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Take a moment in downward dog. And then roll forward to our plank pose. Exhale, knees first or one line all the way to the earth. Take the feet as wide as the mat here. So normally we have them close to each other, hip distance. I want them wide. Inhale, head and shoulders to cobra. Exhale, lower back down. We're going to do two more of those beauties. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, let it go. Last one, cobra. And release. Press up and over to child's pose. Knees can shift wherever they need to. Arms come beside you. Feel the body in this moment. From here, let's come up to hands and knees. And this may be where you want to grab a blanket or two. Just have them beside you, ready for some prop love. From here, let's take that right leg straight back. Press into the toes again. Toes are on the mat. And then float the foot into the air. Belly draws in, toes open to the side. This time our leg stays straight as we bring it to the side. Call this peeing dog. Good. Plant the foot on the mat and drop the hips. So our tendency is to have this hip lifted as we move it. Bring the hips back even. Good. Sole of the foot comes to the mat if it is accessible. If not, just really make sure that ankle is squared and flexed. From here, play with a little bit of cat and cow motion in the spine. Paying close attention to the hips. Making sure there's no pinching. 1 or 2 more moments here. Good, and then come back to neutral. So first option, we'll just walk through all the options. How about that? So the first option is to just walk the foot a little bit further out. So we're heading to kind of a half split type of thing, right? So my body's going to shift a little bit and my foot comes out, and just let the hips get really heavy. You can stop at any point. Ultimately, we're going to turn the foot to the inside, and you can see how I just sat back a little bit. So we're going to come into this kind of funky half split. This may be where those blankets come in for a little bit of extra love. Option to come to the forearms. Option to turn the toes towards the sky. So we're kind of in a supported Skandasana at this point. Breathe into that inner thigh. Just another breath or two. Come back up to the hands. Coming out is the fun part. Slide your foot back in, stack your hip, and then just draw that knee in. Make some circles with the body, wiggle the hips, because we have another side. Yes. Okay, here we go. Left foot comes straight out behind us, toes to the mat, press into the heel. Float the foot into the air. Belly draws in, toes turn to the side, and we bring the legs straight out. Plant the foot on the mat. And even out the hip, so that left hip will probably need to drop a little bit. Good. To begin with, we just move into that cat and cow. Inhaling to drop the belly. Feel the movement in the hips. Heart and tailbone roll open. Exhale to arch the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Couple more on your own time with your own breath. Good, and then come back to neutral. Slowly walk your foot to the side. You are in control of how far you go. And then when you get to a certain point, just sit your hips back a little bit. Turn to the inner edge of that extended foot. Come to those forearms. Option to stay right here, support. Option to pull your blankets under your hips. Option to turn your toes up to go deeper. No matter where you are, make sure you can breathe and just be present with sensation. Just a few more breaths. Good. Gently come back to those hands. Coming out is the fun part. Walk yourself back in, bend that knee, come back to hands and knees, make some circles, move around, whatever feels good to you. Nice. As you feel complete, let's make our way onto our backs and grab your strap. Once you get on your back, take a full body stretch here. Just let the front of that hip open. Arms reach overhead. Take a few breaths, just getting nice and long again, releasing that lower back. It might be talking to you at this point. Good, and then we will take your strap, bring the right leg into the air, wrap the strap around the ball of the foot. Option to bend the left knee, bringing the foot on the mat. That releases the hips and the hamstring a little bit. Or to keep the leg straight, really keep it active if you do that. Good. So from here, the first thing we want to do is move our foot away from our head a little bit. Our tendency is to pull it in tight and that our knee bends and we get all funky and it's way too intense. And so we want to take our foot away from our head. That's why we have the strap. So we don't have to reach for our toes. Good. And then press through the ball of the foot. Press through the heel. Make sure the knee is not hyperextended. Good. Maybe you start to bring the foot a little bit closer, being really mindful of when you go too far, right? We want to give our body space to feel the stretch. Just another breath or two. And then take the strap into your right hand. So the same side leg. From here, turn the toes open slightly. And just let the leg fall open to the side. So I put my left hand on my hip to keep it anchored as a reminder that I don't want it to pop up. Now this strap is here to help you. Hold that foot up, press through the ball of the foot. And when you get to a place where you want to pause, maybe you deepen that hamstring stretch by pulling the foot towards the head. Maybe, maybe not. Make sure you can breathe. One or two more moments right here. This is where gravity is our friend and not our friend, our frenemy. We can go much deeper than we realize. We can also get a really nice stretch. Good. With control, draw the belly in, engage the legs, sweep the legs straight up to the sky. Switch hands with the strap. So now the strap is in the left hand and the opposite hand. Right arm comes out to the side. Foot is, toes are straight in line with the knee as we exhale the leg across the body, moving into a twist. So again, that strap is there to support. The hip will rise off the mat, but just make sure the shoulders stay grounded. And when you find that place of stretch, maybe you pull that foot a little closer to the head. Maybe you're just thinking about pushing more intently through the heel and the back of the thigh. Gaze can look away from the foot. Make sure you're breathing, my friends. Good. With control, come back up to center, hips anchor into the ground. Take the strap in both hands and just gently bring the foot a little bit closer as an option, not a necessity. Breathe. Good. Release the strap, bend the knee, hug it in, move it around, and then take a full body stretch. Both legs long, arms reach overhead. Maybe you shake out the legs for a minute. And then we go to the other side. So now the left leg is in the air. Reach the foot up, wrap the strap around the ball of the foot. Right leg can stay bent or extend long. Flex the foot, press through the heel. Move the foot away from the head. Give your body space to actually stretch instead of having to fight. You want to give it space to let it be itself. Just another breath or two. Maybe as everything kind of settles, you do have the ability to bring your foot closer, but just really pay attention to what your body is telling you. Take the strap into the left hand. Right hand can come to the hip. Turn the toes open slightly and then exhale, let the leg fall open to the side. That strap is there to support you. Right hip stays anchored and grounded. To deepen, maybe you pull that foot a little closer to your head, maybe not. No matter where you are in the stretch, make sure you're breathing, my friends. Breath is going to be what moves all of this through our body instead of getting it stuck and locking down. Is that left leg active? I want it to be active. Just another breath or two. And then draw the belly in. Use your leg and your body to help lift it back to center. Switch hands with the strap. Left hand reaches out to the side, toes are in line with the knee at this point. And then exhale, let the leg fall across the body into a twist. The strap is there to support again. Sometimes I have to adjust my shoulders a little bit as I go deeper. Know that that is perfectly okay. Gaze looks to the left as an option, and just press into that strap. Yes. Breathe, breathe, breathe. When you're ready, draw the belly in, bring the leg back up to center. Hips come down, and then maybe we have some space to draw the foot a little closer to the head. Option, not necessity. Pay attention to your body. Good, and then gently release the strap, bend the knee, move it around for a minute, and then take a full body stretch. Good, let's hug both knees in. Make circles with the legs or rock back and forth. Massage out that lower back. And then bring the feet to the mat with the knees bent. Arms come open to the side, and let's cross the right leg on top of the left back to that inner thigh connection like we did at the beginning. Just gently rock the legs side to side, noticing the space that you've created in your own body. Maybe pausing at each side for a moment for a few breaths, just to enjoy that twist. Twists are delicious for our lower back right now at the end of this practice. One or two more moments. And then when you feel balanced and complete on this side, come back to center, uncross the legs. Even everything out. Sometimes the hips have moved in that moment. And then switch the cross of the legs. So now the left leg is on top of the right. Good, very gently, slowly bring the legs to one side, maybe pausing, feeling that stretch. And then going to the other side, maybe you simply just go back and forth and back and forth. But maybe you hit one side and breathe there for a few moments. You get to decide what your body wants most in this moment. One more moment, making sure you're even and balanced. And then come back to center, uncross the legs, take a moment with the knees bent. Feel the body here. Notice your lower back, notice your neck and shoulders, notice your hips. And so for Shavasana, I give you a couple of options. One is to simply let everything lay flat and just settle into the earth. Another option is to take a couple of those blankets and put them underneath your knees so we have a little bit of lift. And the third option is to bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall open, support them with blankets as you need. Arms can be wherever feels good to you. So take a moment, feel into which Shavasana you desire. Yeah, maybe put blankets on you, have something underneath your head. You get to find the coziest, comfiest place for you to rest. And then just settle in. Maybe take an exhale through the mouth. We went deep into our hips today, and that can have a lot of emotion. So just give yourself some grace, acknowledge what you're feeling. Release it on an exhale. And just float away for a few moments. Mm. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring awareness back to your body. Feel the practice and where it's found a home. And then very gently put movement back in. Wiggling fingers and toes. Rocking the head from side to side. Moving in any way that feels good to you. Gradually moving more and more of your body. Until you're ready to take a full body stretch. And roll to your side, resting on your side for a moment. Stay connected to your breath, to the sensations in your body, even as you prepare to move off of your mat. And then gently help yourself to seated, eyes remain closed, focus inwards. Palms press in front of our heart, lift our heart to meet our hands, take a breath in and out. Namaste.